Good morning, you guys. So it is October, the month that we call October, the day that we call Friday, the date that we call the 17th, in the year that we call 2025. And I'm back, and I just want to say, do not follow any links or emails in the comment section of the channels from anyone soliciting you for anything ever, pretending to be me or anyone else. Those would be scammers. Don't do it. Next, I want to say the healing intentions are always set for you folks. Always, always, always. So if you so choose and you want that, go ahead and decree that for your highest and greatest good, only and always. Go ahead and breathe that in through the nose and out through the mouth, and allow that to integrate through the body for as long as you want. So I hope everybody's having a great morning. I'm a little slow to the party this morning. It is 7:31 a.m. And I just want to thank you guys all for your love and your support. And I just want to say I did read all the comments yesterday and I enjoyed reading them all. I didn't type back to you because I really need new glasses and it was just straining my eyes just to read it. And then when I go to type, I make so many typos. It is ridiculous. I really, really, really need new glasses. And yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to use my eyes in that way. They get very strained. So I enjoy reading the comments, but by the time I've read them, like, it's really hard for me to type back, you guys. So I didn't type anything back, but I want you all to know that for all of you that are also going through struggles, some of you named what you were going through and some said you just been challenged as well. I am sending you all love and really praying that everything goes your way to your highest and greatest good, but not just to your highest and greatest good, because sometimes our highest and greatest good is that challenge, and that because we learn, we gain so much from it. But I'm hoping and I'm sending out the energy that you're all able to maneuver through your current challenges for your highest and greatest good, which will create a harmonious and balanced way of being for you here on the earth plane, right? So not just a higher level of highest and greatest good, because those dark night of the souls are for our highest and greatest good, but they're awful going through them, right? So I'm sending it out that it's for your highest and greatest good, but that everything comes together and you have peace and balance and harmony and here in the physical as you maneuver with these challenges. Some of you have been sick, some of you are dealing with house issues, some of you have broken your foot, and your workplace isn't being very wonderful, and some of you didn't state what your issues are, but you're being challenged nonetheless. And I honestly feel like I have some friends, three of my friends right now are being challenged big time as well. And then I have family members challenged. It seems like we're all going through this. And one of my friends said to me the other day, it's like a cleansing. And I guess in a way it is, like with the things that are going on here, and I still don't want to get into them because you know what? It would take me an hour to explain to you what we're dealing with here. And I don't want to waste you guys' time, but it's huge and it sucks. But it's a blessing that it was found. And it's a blessing that my boyfriend's boss was so good about him having to take all that time off of work. My boyfriend is a blessing that he did it without complaint, that we've worked together and he's done the bulk of it because you know, there's only, like, I'm the grunt helper, and that he's done it with a positive attitude and his chin up, and he hasn't been grumpy or ugly or piss face like some people are when they're faced with such giant challenges. He's been wonderful. There's a lot of blessings to my situation. There's a lot of crap to it as well, but you know, that's how it is, right? It's that contrast. But this is the thing, when we're in the crap of it, and there is a lot of crap to what's going on in my life right now, a lot of shitty sides to that, right? You can focus on all that's shitty, or you can look to the contrast and you can focus on the blessings. And so that's what I choose to do, and I feel like it makes life easier. And I feel like it allows the universe to work with us easier to maneuver through these challenges. And so another blessing for me personally is that my boyfriend chooses to do that with me. You know, because I know a lot of people who, one of the people in the relationship, they work that way, the way that I do, keeping a positive attitude, working to keep a positive attitude, so you can stay in flow, even if it seems impossible, so that you can find a way. But yet their mate will be the piss face, right? The one that just wants to just, like they can't find anything positive in it, and everything, the energy just becomes so awful. So I'm really grateful for my boyfriend's overall attitude, even though this is a hardship on many levels, in many ways. He's just kept a wonderful attitude, and he's worked so hard, you guys, from the moment of getting up until after dark, where then, you know, then we had to like travel to haul water, because it's not just a construction thing, it's a plumbing thing, it's a water, it's been a shit show. And he's been so good, you guys. So I'm so blessed, and so many blessings there. And I'm hoping that, and I'm sending you guys all the energy that everything works out for your highest and greatest good in a peaceful, harmonious way that doesn't create the push of two polar ends of a magnet, right? But that you can be in alignment with the universe to help you get these things taken care of and work through them in a way that is best for you in the 3D world. Not just the higher self and the higher learning, but the 3D world as well. So anyway, yeah, I love you all. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you all for the love and the positive wishes and all of that. Sorry I hadn't been able to be on, but you know, when you've got power tools going from dark till dark, and you have to ask because I have to work. So for clients, I would say when I had clients, which is done, you know, over the screen mostly, I would say to my boyfriend, is there anything that you can do outside right now that doesn't require power tools? Because with all of that stuff running, you can't hear, right? So he would do that because obviously with him not working, I have to work, right? So he would find a way to be working to create, to fix things without using all of the power tools and the hammering and the banging until I was done. So he's just been really good in every way, and I'm just really grateful. It's because it's been very challenging in many ways. But I just couldn't ask him to, hey, by the way, seeing how you're missing work to get our house solid, so that it doesn't cave in over the winter, can you not work on that in the morning so that I can do a free service? That's asking too much. You know what I mean? Because like, it's one thing for me to say, can you not do that so that I can work? It's another thing for me to say, can you not do that so that I can do the YouTube reading or whatever? That would be holding up progress and not fair. So that's, that just wouldn't be fair. And we both really need to get this done. And I also have to help him as much as possible. I'm the grunt. I'm like low man on the totem pole on the construction crew, right? It's 2-man construction crew. It's me and him. And I'm the grunt. I'm the runner. I'm the getter. I'm the holder. I'm the passer. I'm that person. While he's doing like the real muscle of things. So I have to be available to help him unless I'm working. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you guys haven't seen me for a while. It's been very challenging. Anyway, enough of my woes. I'm sending you all positive energy as well. That's life, right? Life. We have to learn to roll with it. It just is what it is sometimes. Just is what it is. So anyway, I had promised that I would do this quite a long time ago, and then life just took a spin on me, right? So in Australia, they're having a bill that's going to be put forth December 10th, apparently. And this bill is it's the under 16 years of age bill that's starting up. And this is to make sure that it's to protect children. It's being put forth as something that will protect children. And I guess there are concerns that this is the beginning. This is because you know how the governments are really coy. And they start something by making it look like it's a good thing for this one particular reason, but then they throw a jelly bean in and another jelly bean, another jelly bean. Next thing you know, what started out as what looked like a good thing has now grown into this huge monster that's actually against the people, right? We've seen that so many times, in so many ways, over and over and over again, and that's the fear. That's the concern with this bill, that this would be the way they start the digital ID in Australia. And so the digital ID is being looked at as something of concern, okay? To the person that's asking the question, right? They're concerned about digital ID, period, because of government control. And they're concerned that this under 16 years of age bill that starts on December 10th, could be a slow roll into a digital ID there in Australia. You guys picking up what I'm laying down here? So with this under 16 years of age bill, what it's set up, what they're saying is that this bill is to protect children, right? So it would require identification before you're able to get on social medias and whatnot, to make sure that those social media sites are suitable for children under the age of 16 to be on. And the way it was explained to me is that in doing this to protect the children, everyone will have to provide their ID to prove their age. So it doesn't matter how old you are, you're going to have to prove that you're that age, right? Obviously, because a 16-year-old could set up an account claiming their birth date, or a 15-year-old could set up an account claiming that their birth date is, from 1978, if they wanted. So now they're asking for proof of this. So you got to prove that you're actually 16 or older, because it says under 16. I would think it would be under 17, but I don't know. And here, I know here in the United States, I think it's 17 years old. 17, a child can be considered legally consenting to sex. I guess is why I would think it would be 17 thing popped into my head. I don't know what the legal age of consent is in Australia. But I don't know why I was correlating both of those things together. I guess because in my head, if they see you as legally able to consent to sex, then I imagine they're not going to care too much about what it is that you're viewing on social media. I think everything needs to be cleaned up. Everything's become so perverse and defiled, and everything needs to be cleaned up. Morals, values need to be cleaned up. Well, I guess they don't need to be, but boy, could humanity benefit if they were. So, their concern is that this under 16 years of age bill, starting on December 10th, where you have to prove your age basically to make sure that you're not under 16, is going to segue into Australia having a digital ID, a mandated digital ID, right? So let's just ask that, you guys. Let's just find out if with one card, the universe can answer us that. So they've heard me babbling on about it. So we're asking our Creator, the Creator of all in creation, that loves all in creation, our God of Most High, right? And our highest selves, and our spiritual team. All of that which has our highest and greatest good for intentions only and always. To come together and be able to give us an accurate and true information when it comes to this question and any other. That's what we do every day, right? So let's see. So that's what I'm asking. I want to know. I don't know if this bill already passed or not. And I didn't ask her because I'm so late. I didn't want to bombard her with questions this morning. I wanted to get this reading done. I'm so late on doing it. So, please and thank you. Tell me the truth. Is the bill that Australia is looking at right now, only the truth is welcome here, is the bill that Australia is looking at right now, the under 16 years of age bill starting December 10th, is this bill a way that Australia is going to segue Australians into a mandated digital ID? Please and thank you. So just give me a yes or a no. With one card, please and thank you. The under 16 years of age bill starting December 10th in Australia. Is this bill a way that the Australian government is going to segue Australians into having a mandated digital ID? Please and thank you. one more card. One more shuffle, and then we'll cut them. All right, so with your 4, hold on, I've got to move some stuff out of my way. So your answer is the 4 of Swords, right? With the 4 of Swords, it's a little bit more complicated. So there is a story to tell here. But with the 4 of Swords, that's technology, and we're talking about technology, and you'll see that there's already some things hanging up on the wall, okay? But there's more underneath, so more to come, or what's hoped for or wished for. So as that being your answer, is this going to segue you into a mandated digital ID? It looks to me like there's already some things there's already things that are up and running in your country that can identify you all at any time anyway. Okay? So there's already this stuff in place that whether you realize it or not, if your fear is, or your concern is, that song always comes into mind. Why does it feel like somebody's watching? Why do I feel like somebody's watching me? They already are. Like, this has already been going on. And for a long time. Okay? And then, so what's under here? So we're asking the question, is this a way to segue you into a mandated digital ID? Like, let me just say, let me compare it here. It's different, but sort of the same. So here in the United States, we were being spied on always. Okay? But then they created a terrorist attack, a fake terrorist attack, because it was done by our own government. Right? 9/11. And they used that terrorist attack to segue into the Patriot Act, where now they can lawfully spy on us all the time anyway. But they were already doing it. But they made it seem like this would only happen, like with you, you're concerned because this is supposed to be based on keeping the children safe. So here, the Patriot Act that I'm talking about, they made it seem like it was really only going to be used, even though they could spy on all of us, it was really only going to be used for people of interest that might be terrorists, which was an absolute bullshit lie, which is what you're concerned with, I believe, with this. That they're making it seem like it's a good thing because it's to protect children, but it's an absolute bullshit lie, because what they actually want to do is force you all into a digital ID, which gives them, the concern is, in the wrong hands, it would be misused, and it would give them way too much control and way too much power and knowing everything about you, right? It's saying they already do know everything about you. And it is saying that this under the bed, what's to come up is, when this bill was first talked about or put forth, yes, there is an intention that this is one of the ways that they could segue, if they can get it to come up. They could segue into creating a digital ID, a mandated digital ID for Australians. That's their hope. But the universe is telling you you're already being looked at. Like, they already know everything you're doing. So I believe the universe probably wants to talk to us a little bit about that. So I'm going to let him do a 7-card spread, okay? Now, I think I've said before, you know, well, just like yesterday when I said I don't like to get too caught up in the black pilling. I like to focus on what I want, manifest there, and see the crappy stuff, the things that aren't great for humanity, healed. And I set my decrees that I don't consent to this shit. I don't consent to it. If nothing else, because we came here as free will beings, when you set those decrees that you don't consent to it, you don't consent to these nefarious agendas or whatever being done to you, your country, your people, your family, your animals, you know, your whatever, you're creating terrible karma for these people because they're going against your free will. So if at the very least, setting your decrees that you do not consent to these things puts a great deal of karmic feedback back on them. And this is a spiritual, we are in the midst of a spiritual war. And the people that have been oppressing we little ordinary folks, they know spiritual law, you guys. And that's why they've tried to keep humanity ignorant, so that they could trick everybody and not have any karmic, they believed they wouldn't have any karmic debt. They're wrong, because when we die, we have to feel everything that we've ever done to anything, everything. And that in itself is hell, if you've been a horrible person. So, but their belief is that they're saving themselves from karmic debt. So, I just always like to make sure that I set my decrees that I don't consent and increase that karmic debt for them. The more and more people are not consenting, more in tune with universal law, it probably makes them roll back a few of their plans, right? Alright, so I believe there's probably something they want to say around this. And I also want to look at it from another perspective. So I'll ask another question. I have been being shown for years and years and years, we are just moving into a way of being, a way of life that includes more and more and more technology, and it's just what it is. It is what it is. And I've always seen that this is a good thing for humanity. We want those med beds, that's very high technology, you know, so the thing is that we can't get too caught up in what we don't want. We really want to manifest what we do want. And when we're focusing on what we don't want, the universe doesn't hear, I don't want this. The universe just hears the topic at hand. So we can very easily manifest what it is that we're not wanting by worrying it. And, you know, this is something that I've always said, but yesterday, my uncle was worrying something, and one of my cousins was talking to him about it. And then my other cousin came in for a good chunk of the conversation, and he goes, yeah, you know, worrying and focusing on all the bad stuff, that's like praying backwards. And I was just like, yeah, God sent him in to say those words at that time so that my uncle would get it. Because that was a way that really clicked with my uncle so that he could understand it really. It's like praying backwards. So for him, he got it, rather than my other cousin who was saying, you're manifesting the negative. My other cousin just came in and said, yeah, it's like praying backwards, Dad. So That's basically what goes on if we're focusing on something too much. So it's a fine line that we walk, right? We want to stay balanced. We want to be aware. We want to be educated. We don't want to be inundated. We want to stay focused on what we want. But I know as we grow technology-wise, so do the scammers, so do a lot of other things. And we're going to need to have safeguards. And all throughout history, anytime something new was introduced, people at first were afraid of it. Cameras, for instance, you know, people didn't want to have their pictures taken because they believed it to be like witchcraft and that it would steal their souls. And now look at all that we do with cameras. We've got family photos and, you know, movies and TV, and we're doing things like this. So it's always something to keep in mind that the unknown, the human ego always wants to see the unknown as fearful. But not everything is, right? So let's see what they want to say around this. Okay, you guys? Let's get a 7-card spread so we can see a pathway regarding, now we're talking the digital ID, okay? Because that was when this bill was created, that was sort of the hope, right? That this would segue in. But I believe a lot of things, because of what we get via the cards, a lot of original plans have been halted and turned around and reversed. And so things that they had hoped for to come of things are not. Or what you think might be happening is actually the opposite. Do you know what I'm saying? We're living in a world of illusion right now. So just because that was the hope doesn't mean it will come into fruition. And even if digital ID does come into fruition, it doesn't mean that it's going to be used nefariously. So there's a lot here. So let's just see what the universe wants to say. We'll look at the pathway of the hope from the people that created this bill, the hope of the digital ID coming in, and the story around it, okay? And remember, this is just what I'm getting, you know, this is just what I'm getting. Take from it what you will, whatever resonates, toss the rest. Use your intuition. Maybe lay your own cards, do your own thing, right? Ask somebody else, you know, who knows? But this is what I'm getting, okay, guys? So let's see what we get. We're gonna cut them 3 times. It's already looking pretty interesting. I want you guys to see it. I don't know how I struggled yesterday too, right? Not knowing how I had been setting up this camera and stuff. Okay, let's put this over here, because we already read that. That was our answer. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. And I'm sure, you know, I get these answers, and I know people, I know sometimes people want me to, like, give them an answer that they're looking for, that they're hoping for. You know, and I can't always do that, because all I can do is tell you what I'm getting from the cards, the universe, our creator, our highest selves, and our spiritual teams coming together to try to explain to us what's going on here on the earth plane, right? So, and I often get this to just be the truth every single time. And, you know, like I said, I'm very logical. I'm very well grounded. I'm not about hopium. I am very spiritual. I do trust, and I understand what it is to be cynical, because I am that as well, right? I'm very much human. So I know when we're in a concerned space, often we want to be validated that our concerns are valid, which you got that, okay? You actually got that with this. This card is saying that the reason why they began this process is because, yeah, it was their hope to kind of Easter egg this one, slow roll it into that beginning of the mandated digital IDs. So you've been validated. That was the hope. You've also been told that you're living in an illusion anyway, because they already are knowing everything that you're doing there. I believe they know it in every country. Like I said, they knew what we were doing here long before they made that Patriot Act, where it became lawful for them to spy on us, legal. So they already know everything you do. Anything that digital ID would create is only to make it so that all of this becomes like it's lawful for them to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you've been validated. That was the hope. Now let's talk about the pathway. The pathway says that there's a war going on, and that you've got good warriors that are warring against this, and they are fighting the bad guys, okay? So that's what you've got. That is your energy that drives your pathway to this digital ID, the mandated digital ID. So, because that is the energy that's driving your pathway and your story, know that you have, this is my good military, good guy fighters, warriors, this is my good military. You have some massive good power, fighting military power, and probably individual, personal people fighting this battle, but this is being fought passionately by good people. Now, we come up diagonally from that, and what are they doing? They're exposing, so the people that are fighting against this bill, because of their concerns around it, are exposing a lot of negative stuff. So there's an exposure because of this bill. There's things being exposed, okay? And don't forget, in this Seven of Cups, things are being exposed, bad things are being exposed, but also they're finding some positives that could be used, maybe done differently, right? And there is something that will be uncovered because of this. Does that make sense? And above you, after all of this exposure and the uncovering and the fighting around these people's hopes and what they're already doing, you have great healing coming, where you will be rejoicing, and you will be figuring out how to birth something new that's higher vibrational, safer, because it would be more grounded, right? And something that's very healing and good for the people and the children, because we do need to keep these kids off of these sites somehow. And they're so smart. They unlock parents' securities to, you know, I mean, these kids are little hackers themselves. They're amazing when it comes to technology, because they've been raised with it. So there does need to be some looking some things over there, and we do have to keep these kids off these sites. But it looks like that was their hope, that they wanted to introduce the mandated digital ID. But the universe says they already know everything that you're doing, and they already have their means to do anything that you might fear that they might do with that overpower and over control, right? But this is how they were going to bring that in lawfully. But because you've got good people fighting like hell, good military, good people fighting like hell, to expose the dark agendas with this 7 of Cups, to expose the dark agendas and the people in the shadows with the dark agendas and the crappy things within this mandated digital ID as it stands, as a plan stands, as the energy stands today, if that makes sense. But also, this fighting is exposing some of the good things that maybe you could pluck from that to incorporate into whatever you're going to birth new. But there's going to be a surprise, an exposure. Something's going to be revealed, okay? So this is all good stuff. Like, people are being exposed, things are being exposed, some things are being found that might be good, that could be used to birth something new. There's going to be a big surprise, a big exposure coming because of the people fighting. And then we come up, so that's what's happening, is these people are exposing these things. And that will bring in something that you can rejoice about with the Empress. You can rejoice. It's going to be higher vibrational because of all the stars on her crown. It will be birthing something new because she's kind of pregnant underneath this baggy gown. It will be safer because it's well grounded. She grounds heaven into earth, right? And it's something that you'll be able to rejoice in because there's that 3. So something will come of this. Is how we're being shown this is all going to play out, okay? So when you come up from the fighters, the warriors, the good warriors that are warring against this mandated digital ID, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is focusing on what? The earthly pleasures. So I think the reason why these people are fighting so hard, or what triggered their fight, is because with this power trip, possibly your earthly pleasures could be manipulated, right? Could be taken from you or whatever, which they already can be by both government and hackers. Honestly, according to this card, there's already the abilities for these things. But this is a serious focus. A major focus is on like the assets. So there would be a fear that they would then be getting into your bank accounts or whatever. And the universe says at the very top that is something that's also being exposed. How you could have that stuff tapped into, and that's a big wake-up call for people. People are seeing this, and their concerns about it are waking them up. So just because of this topic and this concern and this bill, people are kind of waking up to the over control that governments have. And so by having these people fighting and exposing, probably out there speaking and fighting and exposing around all of this under 16 years of age bill and the concern for the mandatory digital ID, a lot of people in your country are waking up. And isn't that good? Because not that we don't have a ton of sleepers here, but I think that Australia had gotten pretty complacent and pretty sleepy. So it's creating a wake up anyway. Now we come up diagonally from the Knight of Swords, okay? And the Knight of Swords is your fighting energy. So the good military, the good fighters, whoever it is that's fighting to stop this, it's whatever they're doing, it's working. It's working. So whatever is happening with the people bringing the knowledge and the exposure and fighting this stuff behind the scenes or even in front of the scenes, whatever they're doing is working. So they're waking people up, which is a really good thing. But it looks like part of this problem has already been put behind you, whether you know it or not. And so literally, this is the rods. This is the Two of Rods. That's a very balanced card. So it looks like, you know, and forgive me please, but this is just what I'm getting. It looks like there's a whole section of what might be concerning that's already put behind you. Like, you don't need to worry about it at all. I have to shut the heat off because it's going to make a lot of racket. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'll turn it back on when I'm done. I definitely will turn it back on when I'm done because it's freezing. But I don't want to make you all wait for me to fill the pellet stove. So a good chunk of the issues, the physical issues that this would cause in your physical life, because this is your rod, so it's your day-to-day, your physical world, right? It's already been put behind you, so it's not something to worry about according to what I'm getting, because stuff has already been put behind you. A good chunk of stuff has already been put behind you to balance things out. And right now there's a waiting, so it's like Australia. What you might be seeing and what is actually happening might be different. So even though things look as though they're moving forward, it looks like there's a stilling. So it's like Australia is standing there, some stuff's been put behind you, and now you're standing there not moving forward yet. Like this thing that you're concerned about, you're not moving forward with what's concerning, whether you realize it or not. And the reason why I say you're not moving forward with what's concerning is because above that, the moon says what's concerning you has ended. And what you're going through is discomfort to get the racket going so that the people know. And why do I say so that the people know? You're going through the uncomfortable phase of believing something is happening that would have or wanted to be put in place to make you uncomfortable, to get everybody yammering about it, to get people fighting, passionate, fighting for what they want and what's right, so that people wake up with that judgment right beside that moon, so that things can be done right, so that real topics can be addressed from a place of high vibrations and healing, to make things so that they are safer and better, more grounded, safer, better, but not what they initially had planned. So there's an exposure going on here, right? And a focus of all of this stuff by the good military, who's also put like a lot behind you and has you sort of like in limbo right now for the sole purpose of getting people uncomfortable, talking about this shit, waking up so that things can be healed and done better. So let me see if I've gotten that correct, please and thank you. Have I done a good job delivering this message? Please and thank you. Yes, I've done a good job delivering you this message with that Chariot. That's a higher arcana card, so that's screaming at me, yes. That's a big yes, okay? But don't forget, that's the 7, okay? So seek. Seek the wisdom, seek the knowledge, seek your proof that these things are going on, okay? And know that moving forward, things are going to be much better, much more balanced, is the secondary message with that. So that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. So I'm getting that your fears, your concerns, they were definitely valid, obviously, but this stuff is being controlled or being exposed in such a way that you're not actually going to be receiving what your concern is. You're moving forward in a much more balanced way. And the old nefarious scheme to screw you all over has been put behind you. And now you're going through the discomfort of waking up to agendas and working to heal them. So, and the driving energy is good military. That's exposing this, that's putting things behind you, that's focusing on the issues within doing something like that, that's waking people up, that's ending an old way of being, and that will birth something new. And with the answer, it says, seek, and ye shall find. So there should be seek, just seek, okay? And so that's what I'm getting, at least. So, all right. So with that, we are almost an hour in. So now let's just get a quick universal message. We'll do a quick conversation down. What would the universe like to leave us with as the energy stands now that we've received that tidbit of information that we just received? What would the universe like to leave us with? Maybe with 4 cards and a downward conversation style. And then I will bid you all a wonderful and magnificent day. So yeah, let's just see. One more shuffle and we will cut them 3 times. And I will lay the cards. And wow. And then we'll talk. Let me get a sip of my coffee. What's the universe want to leave us with? The first card up is the King of Swords. Swords are technology. Swords are ego, words, thoughts. And the King of Swords represents integrity. So what is the universe leaving us with right now? There's integrity in the upcoming technology. Integrity. Done with integrity, finally. Why am I saying it's done with integrity? Because the next card that we have is my King of Wands card, and that is very passionate, fiery energy, courageous, passionate, fiery, always doing with the greatest and highest good of all 4 intentions, creating something very physical that is that is for humanity's highest and greatest good. So now we come over, and the next thing we have is the Hermit. And the Hermit ends a cycle, and he shines a light, and he's very, very, very high vibrational, right? So what is going on? We start out with integrity coming in the technology, brought to us by people with passion and courage and strength that are fair and good humans that want to bring forth things in the technology department that is for humanity's highest and greatest good. And the vibration will be very, very high vibrational. So the Hermit's ending the cycle of the things that he's shining the light on, and his vibration is going out to the back of the new technology. The Hermit's very, 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 very high vibrational, you guys. And his high vibrations are radiating out to our king, right? Our king of rods, those that want to bring this forward for humanity. So we're finally at a period in time, you guys, where there are people that want to bring you technology with integrity instead of bringing you technology to use against you, right? And honestly, when they did it with the intention to use it against us or whatever, it all kind of backfired on them, because look at how we're using those little tools that they decided that they would give us, that they could screw us with. Look at how we're using them against them. So it's kind of funny. But we have integrity in bringing forward the technology that's coming towards us. We have a light being shown on technology, so the way it's been used, what they've used it for. We have a high vibration that's going into the technology, because the cycle of what needs the light shown on it is ending. And we have this wish-fulfilling card that says we're finally getting what we actually want, what can feel good, what can suit us. And ending out what the Hermit has had to shine a light on, right? Which is the way things were done nefariously. So that's what the universe wants us to know. The universe is telling us we have a lot of new technology that's going to be coming our way. It's going to be very high vibrational. There's integrity there. There are people with integrity bringing these things forward. The universe, our spirit guides, our highest selves, our creator, are all working together to make this shift and end a cycle where they're shining a light on what wasn't working, what was used nefariously. For instance, I'm sure there'll be a lot of news coming out about the Patriot Act. I think there already is. I don't know. I'm just so caught up in life, I'm behind. But you know what I mean? It will shine a light on the nefarious things while bringing us things with integrity that will actually fulfill our wishes, that will make us happy, that will be better for us, that will feel good. Brought to us by people with integrity, passion, courage, that want to help move humanity forward for their highest and greatest good, overseen and guided by spirit. So that's what we're getting left with today. So celebrate, you guys. This is wish fulfillment. That's what we're being left with today. So that's what I'm getting, you guys. Take from it what you will. Toss the rest. Know that I love you all. I appreciate all of your comments. I'm sending you all really good mojo. Lots of love, comfort, courage, perseverance, strength, and the ability to maneuver your challenges for your highest and greatest good, but in the most harmonious way possible that brings you peace here on the earth plane in the day-to-day physical journey, right? And yeah, until next time, you guys, stay high vibing and just continue to send out the love and send out the healing and send out the high vibrations, and know that we're living through one of the greatest times in the world. And, you know, envision the world that you're choosing and set your decrees and be very specific in what it is that you are choosing. And I will see you all next time. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful weekend. I love you and thank you all for the comments. I love reading your comments. And this too shall pass. We will get through this. And again, this is just what I'm getting, you guys. All right. I will see you all later. Until then, take care. Bye.